So, welcome to the Digital Maddie Show with your host and host Mithyl, a pod made exclusively for solopreneurs, artists, and coaches who wants to build their digital empire. With 15 plus years of business experience, I cover topics on personal branding, content marketing, as well as business strategies on this show and invite many experts who share the same passion like mine. Today, I have an amazing guest on our show. I was very much eager to have her onto the platform. But before I bring her, let me just introduce, about her. So she is a professional with over 30 years of experience. Now she has worked for little over a decade with other organizations, which includes national level industry associations as well as multinational corporate houses. She has donned the hat of an advisor, coach, mentor, educational as well as business consultant, motivational speaker, trainer, and facilitator, besides being a serial entrepreneur responsible for setting up an event management company, an international retail chain, media and entertainment company, 100% export oriented industry, engaged in construction material, wealth management, as well as sectorial industry associations and multiple charitable organizations. Her latest venture is into learning and development, which has been set up to save people's life as well as help create a conscious society. And she's already into the show. Let us welcome none other than Archana. So, welcome Archana ji to our show.
Hi, Mithyl. Such a wonderful thing to be here. Thank you for inviting me.
Awesome, awesome, awesome. I am, in fact, it's an honor to have you onto the show. And with you, we start with the season 3 episodes. So I am super excited to have this kind of an opportunity to have you as the first guest for our season 3 episodes. So super, super, super excited. And thank you so much for accepting the invitation and being as a guest on the show.
Thank you, Mithyl, and congratulations for starting your third season. Wow, amazing.
Thank you, thank you, thank you so much. So, Archana ji, the mic is all yours. Can you just share your backstory with all of us?
Sure. All right. So basically, Mithil already covered my professional story so much that there is barely left to bore you all with more of that. Let me share a little bit more about my personal story that I hope will be of some inspiration to some small town boys and girls. So I grew up in very small towns. I say towns and not town because my father was in a transferable job. So in central India, I used to be in different schools every second year and trying to make new friends. And studying in an English medium school actually meant going to a nearby town, which is a slightly bigger one, and getting into a school which was basically Hindi medium, but the E section would be called English medium, where English textbooks were used. So my English was not really as good as my siblings, who were, I think, fortunate to study in convent schools for a longer period than mine. So it was so bad that at one time my brother caught my weakness, and every time we would go into a fight, he would suddenly change the language to English, and I would be left blabbering, like, what I meant was, and kind of thing, but could not express myself. But, anyways, as people say, necessity makes everybody learn everything. So, finally, when I joined my first job, as Mithil was mentioning, in Delhi, in a National Chamber of Commerce and Industry, the only language I had to speak and work with was English. And slowly, it became the language that replaced Hindi in my dreams, in my prayers, in my wishes, in my thoughts. So, that's how things go. So, if anybody ever feels threatened because of not knowing how to speak fluent English, just think of me. If I can do it, you can do it too. So started from there, and I was very fortunate that right from my first job, I got an opportunity to work in areas that were like the in thing in those days, and I got to learn a lot from the top visionaries who were, so willing to be like mentors to me and guided me on what I should and I should not do in my life. And that brought me, like, I started with environment, energy, TQM, telecom, IT, all of that as it happened. And then I moved on to becoming a management consultant. And slowly and steadily, I think I became a serial entrepreneur and set up many different organizations. It was a amazing, exposure and experience, and pretty much hands-on learning, I would say. Finally, I think in 2010, I first got introduced to my calling, and that is what is my latest venture, which I call as Conscious Living Center. And I formally set it up as a company in only in 2017. So I, as Mithyl was mentioning, I donned the hat of being an advisor, a business consultant, I'm a certified executive coach. I am a passionate, trainer who loves to train people. And yeah, so my journey nowadays is pretty much dedicated to my organization, which is into saving lives and transforming lives to making it better. Thank you, Mithil. So this is what I would say.
Wow, what a wonderful journey, and it's quite inspiring. And I can, like, since I know a little bit about you during our one-to-one sessions, that yes, coming from a small town, and now today you are basically helping so many people get transformed from people who did not had the basic etiquettes to now becoming flawless, kind of directorial levels and much more. So kudos to you and the transformation that you are doing. Like, I can actually say that you are an alchemist, which brings a lot of transformation in many people's life. Awesome.
Thank you. Thank you, Mithil.
Most welcome. So, Archana ji, when it comes to your ikigai, your passion, so as per you, what is conscious living?
Yeah, wow, what a great question. Because, yeah, many people have many assumptions when they hear the word conscious living. Basically, simply put, conscious living means living with awareness. Now, many people have many assumptions again. Awareness about what? Right? It's awareness about, I would say, number one, life, what it is. Because we are all living, but without necessarily having any formal or informal level of education in what is life. So I would say first, to live a conscious life, we have to become aware of what is life. And the second bit is about ourselves as human beings. Really, like, how did we come into being? Who are we? Why are we here? What is the whole purpose of this life? Why are we even different, right? Because we all are unique and we all know it, and science confirms it, right? Nobody's DNA matches, nobody's pupil matches, nothing matches, right? We don't even wear the same dress on a same day, or even a color usually, which is so interesting for me to observe, right? Very rare. So if we are so unique, why are we unique? And then are we all supposed to do the same thing, or are we supposed to live unique lives? So I think if we can all become aware or start thinking even and figuring out the answers for these questions, that would be like living in the path of, like, in a conscious way or aware way. So that is the whole meaning of the whole platform that I'm calling conscious living, and inviting everybody to actually come and learn how to lead a conscious life, while I myself am on the journey, frankly. So it's not like I can say I'm all enlightened and I have understood everything, but that's what I would say is conscious living.
Absolutely. And in fact, conscious living is something that it is so much necessary nowadays with the digital, presence in our life has hooked up us so much that it practically becomes so difficult for us to actually focus on anything hands on, whatever we try to deal with. And I was just going through one of the article where it was very beautifully said that when it comes to us, uh, pronunciation is the most important thing, And why am I saying pronunciation out of suddenly with respect to conscious living? Is because every day everyone in the digital world is creating content, and the more we consume content, the more we are started to feel as if, like, oh my god, there is so much there and maybe I'm not worth it. But the most important thing is content and not content. So it's the pronunciation. So the more you are content that yes, I am sufficient, I am enough, whatever I have, I can create everything. And I think that is also conscious living, if I'm not wrong, Archana ji.
Absolutely. In fact, that's such a beautiful thing you've got, Mithil, because, uh, ultimate, like people are looking, they say, for happiness, right? And if you go deeper on what really gives us that, happiness that can stick on to us, actually, at the end of the day, we all have realized at some point or the other, we are talking about being content for God's sake, right? And the whole confidence that you mentioned about feeling that I am enough to be whoever I am and I can do it. I think the most important thing is to understand that whoever has created such intelligent beings in us, okay, less or more is not even the question. I think we don't even have the ability, frankly, to compare ourselves, but we have gotten into this thing called competition and comparison for no good reason. So if we are like, like look at those flowers out there, right? There are these tiny little flowers on the roadside, and there are these rose and hibiscus and lotus and so many growing in different areas, different ways, small and big. Now, can you look at any flower closely and say it's not beautiful? It's beautiful, right? The way it is, where it is. It's adding value, it's adding color, it's adding fragrance. Every bird out there is beautiful in its own way. So, if that is true, same goes with us. We are meant to be the way we are. Now, the problem is, even if I'm made a hibiscus, I'm trying to be a rose. Why? Because there is this, general belief that has come about that rose is the most beautiful flower. Now, for a minute, if we all were to imagine, on the planet, all other flowers are removed. And wherever you see in the name of flower, there is only rose. Will we all still like it so much? Maybe not, because it's like too much of it, right? So now, when we are all trying to be the same, we are all trying to be like we were meant to be those beautiful little flowers doing our own job in our own place, in the way we are, but instead we are trying to become somebody what we are even not even meant to, right? And unnecessarily spending our life and resources towards that and probably wasting a life there. Yeah.
Absolutely, I totally agree with it. So, Archana ji, what actually made you set up the Conscious Living Center? And then what are the various activities that happen on CL?
Okay. So basically, way back in 2010, when I was mentioning I got introduced to my calling, what really happened was I remember distinctly about reading a small newspaper article in Times of India, which is a leading daily in India, about a 13-year-old girl committing suicide because of homework pressure. Now, I can't tell you how badly it hit me that I just lost my sleep, and I was trying for days to connect these different words in that one sentence. How is it even possible? Why is it happening? I don't know whether angry or sad. 13-year-old, homework pressure, even before the child has understood what is life, the child is giving up on life. And immediately, what struck me was such a small child could not have yet done any such act which would make her deserve this. Definitely, we adults around the children are doing something very wrong if a child has to be pushed to that level. And then, as it happens, when you get hit with something like that, which has a huge impact on you, You start seeing the same thing everywhere. You just realize that probably you were just blind to it, but it was not like it was not happening. It was just that time when it had to hit you. So I started really reading more and more, and becoming aware more and more of, 9-year-olds, 10-year-olds, 13-year-olds, 15-year-olds, 17-year-olds, not only committing suicide but committing acts like murder. Children who are topping universities not getting through campus interview and therefore jumping off a building and giving up life. Somebody going and saying I love you to the other person does not get the reciprocation expected, throw acid on the person. Latest one which you will all relate to would be, I mean, what the hell is that? You live together, live in relationship, you can live out, no, if you don't like each other anymore, no, you will cut into pieces, what, eat them up or just throw them somewhere. Get married, marriage is not going well, there is something called divorce, no, but you will scheme, kill the entire family. To people getting hired into jobs to celebrate, but the moment they get fired from one job, they just hang themselves. And there is no end to this kind of thing that we all come across. And this was very, very unsettling for me. Like, it was like, wow, like we have to do something. We have to stop whatever we are doing. And I'm going to do whatever it takes to make sure that we make a difference and don't continue with this and keep losing such precious life. We are behaving like a psycho society almost. And that made me get into like a research mode, introspection mode. And as I already was known like a problem solver, each of my enterprise was a result of problems that were brought to me. And I had always pioneered the solution. So I thought, okay, what can I do? And what I realized was the problem was happening because a fundamental level of education we were missing. And what we spoke earlier, the education about life and who we are, why we are here, without understanding that we all had become too busy living a life that we were told we all have to live, which actually did not make sense. So most of us were living a life in frustration, and we were in an area like which we probably didn't choose, and therefore we were not living the life we were really meant to live. And that was creating a lot of conflict within us, which was coming out in the society, with our relationships, in the form of sickness like frustration, irritation, depression, and so on and so forth. So once I realized that, I thought the least I can do is to actually fill this gap by providing that bit of education in whatever best way I can based on my own learning from life. And I started creating courses for people of different age groups to really think about these things. And that is what got me to coin this term. I mean, why are people not living more consciously? So, how can I help people live consciously? Now, the question is, how would you want to live consciously? I want each one of us to figure that out for ourselves. But the least I wanted to do was to shake people up from the way, in a mechanized manner, we were all living, and just become human again and start using the intelligence we have been given and think about some of these basic questions and do what they believe is right to be done. So I have now programs that I offer called Find Your Calling, which can be for anybody who feels a little confused about way forward. There is conscious parenting for the parenting community. There is conscious facilitation for the teaching community, and then there is conscious leadership for all those people who are huge influencers in the society. So idea is to ultimately somehow make a small dent and create a conscious human society. So these are our main flagship programs, but through these, when we make people aware, we realize sometimes they need more hand holding and support. And to provide for that, we also have a team with which we provide life skills, English language skills, technical skills training, startup mentoring. We have even an entrepreneurship cell and so on. So we try to give whatever support we feel will help our customers and clients lead a conscious life and to up to their real true potential, so to say. So we offer coaching and whatever else it takes. Frankly, we find people if we don't have the expertise and provide that to our clients and customers.
Wow, that is actually comprehensive and too deep. And the purpose, I can now totally relate that, it is very much important, very much essential to have pioneers like you to actually, carve a path so that many people can follow it. And slowly and steadily, we can again make the world a better world to live in. Thank you. Thank you for this efforts, Archana ji. Because most of the time when people do such kind of efforts, it's actually thankless. But I take this opportunity to thank you for doing this wonderful job no one asked you to do, but it was consciously you decided that you can make a better world. And so thank you for that.
In fact, Mithil, I actually feel grateful to be chosen, to be able to even think and do whatever little I'm doing. So, in fact, I am filled with gratitude for whatever is empowering me, and whoever even receives, I feel totally grateful if I can make a difference in somebody's life.
Awesome, awesome, awesome. So Archana ji, now when it comes to conscious living center, as well as you are also into learning and development, so what are the kind of clients that you're actually working with?
Right. So we actually work mainly, our preference is to work with individuals between the 15 to 35-year age group. And that precisely is our choice because we feel just then they have the right understanding and maturity, and they have got the independence probably to make some decisions in their life. And before they can pick a career, before they can decide on things like marriage or having children, if we can help them start understanding the life that they mean to have and go towards that, that would be having the maximum impact. And even when they get married or they become top leaders or become parents, then they can take on that job from us. And that the next part of the world will not need us if everybody can carry that. But as on today, frankly, corporate houses are engaging us because they do see the value of this. As you said, with more of technology coming into our lives, there is a lot of positive things happening. Like we are speaking, sitting in two different locations completely, and a lot of listeners probably are from across the globe. But yeah, technology is like, I think like a nuclear bomb, right? You can nuclear energy, so to say, like, you can use it positively, you can use it negatively. It's about how you use it. So with that, I think corporates realize the lifestyle that we are leading, people who are ended up being there successful but unhappy. There are too many of those. And even as an organization, they're all trying to create a happy workplace, and they are like confused about what all more do they need to provide to make the workplace happy. So when they actually come in touch with us and they hear what we are doing, and the fact that we can combine this aspect with L&D, they actually love it. So they engage us for their executives at all levels, from the campus to corporate onwards till the leadership level. And we are also working with educational institutions who are engaging us because, again, they realize that their students do not have the required clarity to make a decision about way forward. So they are engaging with us. So we are happy to provide our services. But very soon with our LMS, which we are developing, and we are hoping to go B2C big time. So till now, our focus has been on B2B, but I think the real game that we would like to play is B2C because there's so many people, and we don't want them to be, waiting for their organizations to bring us to them. We want to give the opportunity for the world to reach to us and we to reach to them. So that's the intent.
Awesome, awesome, awesome. With this, we come to the end of the phase one, Archana ji, and we go to the phase two, and it's more about rapid fire round,
Oops.
where
Okay.
I'm going to ask you five questions, and whatever the first thing comes in your mind, you
Okay.
have to share it with us. So, are you
Okay.
ready?
Yes. Let's go for it.
So, the rapid fire round is on, and for that, let me just intensify it a little bit.
Oh.
Yes. So, with this, let me go with the very first question. What is the one thing you would like to add in your bucket list?
Ooh. Wow. Traveling
Okay,
again.
traveling where?
Oh, you know what? I have been a traveler for some reason. I've stopped. So I think travel across India.
Lovely, lovely. Second question is, what is that one book which gave you the road to transformation or that aha moment?
Bhagavad Gita.
Wonderful. I also have it over here.
Right?
Awesome. The third question is, who do you admire the most?
My spiritual guru, Bhakti
Wonderful,
Gaurava Sri
wonderful,
Narasingha Maharaj is his name.
wonderful. Fourth question, I like this can be a little tricky, but who is your favorite cartoon character and why?
Goofy recently because I relate to
Oh,
goofing
Goofy.
up so much. Yeah. So I just like the name.
This is so cool. Okay, and fifth one is, who is your favorite superhero and why?
Wow. Okay, I haven't thought. I've grown up beyond superheroes for a long time, I think. Uh, but at one time, it used to be Superman. But, a few years ago, I saw the latest version of Superman. I couldn't connect with it. So after that, I have stopped thinking in that area. But I still have to come out
Okay,
with one Superman.
got it. Awesome, awesome, awesome. So with this, we end the rapid fire round, and I truly enjoyed it. What
Thank
about you,
you.
Archana ma'am?
Me too. Yeah, there were some interesting questions that I will be thinking about even after, I am sure.
Great. So, Archana ji, all the people who are listening to this particular episode, if they wish to connect with you or know more about your programs,
Sure. So, one of the ways is, of course, to come to our website, which is www.consciouslivingcenter.in. The other way, if somebody wants to connect with me directly, best way is to write to me on my email, which is coacharchana@gmail.com. But otherwise, all the other means from LinkedIn to Facebook to our LMS, all the other details are provided in the description below. So I do welcome anybody and everybody to please get in touch with me for anything I can serve you with.
awesome. So, before we end this particular episode, Archana ji, what is that one message that you would like to give to all our listeners?
Yeah, just please think about living this one life consciously. Do what you want to do, but just do it with some thought behind it. Live your own life. Don't live somebody else's life. And that needs courage, I know. But if that is what is stopping you, then just know that you need to get clarity. Once you have clarity, courage follows, confidence follows. So if you need clarity, I'm there to help you. Reach out to me. But I really would like to see each one of us live our life to our truest potential and be content and happy. That's what I would say.
Awesome, awesome, awesome. Thank you, thank you, thank you so much, Archana ji, for coming on to our show and giving so much love. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Mithyl. It was wonderful being here. And once again, thank you and all the best to you for your endeavors. Thank you.
So you have just listened to the Digital Maddie Show with your host Mithyl. Thank you so much for listening to our show and giving so much love. Don't forget to subscribe to our show on the podcast platform that you are listening to. And if you're watching this on YouTube, don't forget to hit the subscribe button. And if you found this podcast valuable, don't forget to hit the like so that it can reach to the right person who probably needs it. This is Mithyl signing off at the moment. Until next time, Meet you soon with another guest and their exciting stories. But until then, keep talking, stay safe, and don't forget to keep creating content. Ciao.